Welcome back to part 2 of my ham radio haul, swap meet haul, and other junk and debris. Whatever the title is, I named it. Welcome back to it. That was a fantastic icon that I just showed you in part 1 there at the end. That was a real treat, and I really cannot wait to get a outside aerial to, if nothing else, listen. The radio just sounded fantastic. It had that, that vintage sound to it. The speaker was full of warmth, and it was a pleasure. So soon I will have something up, and we'll be able to demo things a lot better, or if not, then at least listen to them a lot better. So I was looking at the owner's manual that I forgot to pull out of the box, and high power on that is 25 watts, and low power is 1 watt. And as I was mentioning, I used to work simplex majority of the time. Very infrequently would I work repeaters, and I definitely enjoyed QRP. And we'll talk about that later on with more junk that I have, but I definitely enjoyed QRPP. All right. Reason I started going to these ham swaps after all these years was basically for test gear. I hadn't been to one in 20 years, and I remember, maybe even longer. I remember back in the 80s, those things would be so full of computer crap. 90s maybe. It was just all kinds of junk. You'd have more junk than you would ham gear, but I've been to a lot of them up and down the West Coast, and I've definitely enjoyed them. So started going back to them for test gear because I got into electronics, and well, next thing you know, I'm getting back into ham radio. So the next thing of interest, well, maybe not to you, but to me, we definitely know a few of you may be interested in this, and you might even know what this is. This is a color sync gin, just as it says. And this is kind of a really neat box. I've been looking for one similar to this, not specifically this box or this type or this style, but I like this because this is really nice and small form factor. And what this does is it will give you your color bars and your black point. A 30-second and a 60-second timer. I don't have a lot of experience with this. I only plugged it in one time to confirm that it did indeed work, because I was really most excited about this. And I plugged it on my monitor that my camera's on, and it definitely does whatever. Have video out, sync out, reference frame out, power, and then a 1 kilohertz tone. And so what this is going to do for me is this is going to give me, I believe it's going to give me a 10.7 megahertz out, and in return I will route my time frame sync into it, and all my VCRs and DVDs and all that stuff into that. And it's just a way to keep all the video gear in sync, so when I start ripping and recording from tape into digital, it will definitely keep the lips in sync and all that good stuff. So yeah, that is very cool. Me likey. The guy wanted $15. I talked him down to 10. And I think on eBay they sell for around 50, give or take. So I think that was a pretty good deal. Even at, I would have paid the 15 bucks. I don't mind. But I also kind of like jewing people down too. So, very cool. Looking at all my junk, I was going to try to do this in chronological order, what came from what auction or wherever. But I'm telling you right now, I don't know if that's going to happen. Lots of junk. Lots of junk. But looking at the pile, I think this is it for ham swap number 1, so I'll set that aside. Ham swap number 2, I only got 2 items. Let me zoom you out. I only got 2 items. And again, not plugged in, have no idea if it works. Hold on. Fishing the cable, got stuck. This ICO VTM model number 232, and I do have the probe with it. Just have something happening here on the top. It's almost like the gray is falling off, or there's a sticker there. I don't feel any ridges at all right there. So maybe at one point in time this was black and it was painted gray at the factory. I really don't know. But paid a lot for this, actually. More than I normally would, but I needed one. Well, that was a retarded statement about I needed another one. You see, back in December of last year, and that is a video that's in my bin to punch out, I have a really nice RCA that I went to fix, right? And I fixed it real well that it's, well, now it really needs to be fixed. So we'll save that for a future video I'll punch out. It's going to be like a 47-part documentary. Some will laugh, some will cry. It's really heartbreaking. So I picked this guy up. I paid $10 for this. Like I said, a little bit more than I would have normally have paid, but I thought, well, if the dumb thing works and I need one, I don't really need one. I do have another one in the garage. I just don't like it. I bought it at a ham swap about 4 years ago, and I used it one time and I did not like it. I hate it. Why do I hate it? Because the probe is hardwired into the face. I hate that. And I thought about going through and putting a BNC and all that good stuff on there, but just can't be bothered. I hate it that much. So I got this, and I've got a lot of VTMs, VOMs, whatever you want to call them. But $10. I'll just leave that there. All right, next one. You know what? I goofed up. I bought that at the second swap meet, and there's one more item I did buy at the first. Let me grab it. It's raw, uncut, unscripted. I forgot about this because I had it buried. Like I said, I have a pile to the left of me that at its highest point is at least 3 feet tall. So, not all of it is stuff I bought, but a good chunk of it. Okay, so I bought this and I did plug this in and I did test it. It do work, but it does need a little bit of love. This is a Davis electronic frequency counter. I do not know the model because there is not a model on here. I have seen through research, I have seen one or two of these, but again, no model. I have not opened this up, so I don't know if there's going to be anything on the board. I do find something very similar. I think it's a newer model, and it does have a model number. I can't tell you what it is because that's been quite some time ago that I did look it up. And let me plug this in real quick. It's got a nice, oops, gotta find the camera, dork. Has a nice 90-degree slimline head on that, and that is really cool. I don't know really what all this is going to need. Maybe just, common servicing, caps or whatnot. This is, I do believe, from the mid-70s to late 70s. If you've got any info, schematic, or anything like that on that, let me know. I would appreciate that. So I'm going to turn this on. And I dig that display. Now, what you're not seeing in the camera, well, actually you might be. This digit right here is dim. So that digit will need to be replaced. And I do believe that that is pure LED. I don't think it's a bulb, because it looks like I might have sockets back here, but I really don't know. Yeah, that looks like a board that's standing vertical, and the digits are mounted to that. Has a prescaler, which is just basically a high. So I think this goes from, 1.1 to 500, 512, somewhere up in there. I don't know. And as you see, it has 50 ohm and 1 meg ohm input. So, I cannot wait to open this up and tear into it to see exactly what we have. I see a big fat cap right there. We got the transformer there. I see some pots in there. And then we do have a board standing up in front of the cap. I think the board standing up in the cap, I think on the other one that I saw, actually had a... I think that one might have had an oven. I really don't remember. It's been a while ago. Fact check me if you want. Okay, so I think that ends it for auction number 2. Let's resume, auction number 1. Let's resume back to auction number 2. I only bought 2 items there, I do believe. So this is a really cool frequency counter. I don't know why, but man, I just love frequency counters. I love signal generators and things alike. So I have more than my share, that's for sure. I don't have enough. I could tell you that much. I definitely want more. I don't know what it is. I like them. What is it you guys like? And for those that stood up and said, women, I'm right there with you. I can't get enough of them neither. I'm collecting all of them. Huh. Capacitor. My lighting just seems a little dark at this moment. I don't know why. Okay, so auction number 2. second thing I bought at auction number 2. I may have to bump the move the camera away from the workbench. Oops, wrong way. Let me do that. Okay, any guesses what this could be? This is something he had out on display on the bench. I looked at it, liked the price, I bought it. Could not begin to tell you any more about it than that. Any guesses? Now, back in the day, these things were very, very popular, and they were kind of expensive. I didn't have this model, but I had the smaller brother to it. I had the wall wart. What was it? The PK3, the little one. And I always wanted one of these. Now I got one. This is a AEA model PK232 MBX, and this is a packet unit for sending packet between radio to radio. Basically, you will, this is, I don't want to say a dumb terminal, it's a terminal between your computer and your ham radio. And by using a terminal window, you can talk to computers through this, leave packet mail, go download files, everything. For those that have been around computers long enough, if you remember BBS's, this is exactly what it is, except for this is done over radio waves. So BBS, boy, don't that take you back, Black Cat and all that good stuff. Man, the hours I would spend on BBS with a 300 baud modem just to download a dumb picture or something. Didn't even haggle the price. That's what I paid. I thought it was good price. There, maybe if I move my overhead light where it belonged, that's the problem. All of a sudden brighter. So you got your RS-232. This is where you plug into your computer, your radio, scope, FSK, external modem, and then you could hook up your key to this. And then this goes into your speaker jack on your radio. Okay, so it looks like we got to hook up 2 radios to this. So I have no idea if packet's dead. I think a lot of this is dead anymore. I think everybody's gone to digital. Man, that is frozen. I'll have to get in there and lubricate that. So, haven't even gone through the box. I know there's some stuff in here, but I did not pull everything out. Like 25 bucks, mine. So we got one cable. We have RS-232 cable. Wall wart, which for some dumb reason I was thinking this was AC mains, but it's not. It is a wall wart. I haven't even opened this up. I think he said there was service manual. Let's find out together, shall we? Special fax cable, $15. Service bulletin. Manual supplement. And you see it's dated 10 of 89. And it looks like it's talking about all the junk you could buy for it. Operation manual. Looks like it covers from 45 baud all the way to 9600 baud. Oh. Pack mail schematic. I would imagine all this is available in the wild. Alright, here is data controller for the device, and this is dated June 1988. Talks about special keys, packet window, packet screen, COM ports, all that good stuff. Installation instruction for the lithium battery. $19.89 on that. Says if you are, if you purchased your PK232MBX on or after May 1990, you are eligible to receive the PackMail firmware upgrade for only $5 shipping and handling. Please provide a copy of your bill of sale with a cover letter and a check for $5. Yeah. How many of us remember making cover letters? So that is the order form. I will not show the bottom of this because it has guy's name and address on there. So we'll give him his privacy. Here we are talking about the Packet Radio Layer Protocol, 1984. And this was printed in 11/12 of 1998. Which means well, it's not dot matrix, it's too clean for dot matrix, so. Procedures for link setup and disconnection. Here's an old word for you. How many of you remember this? KISS. That's right, K-I-S-S. Who remembers what that means? Well, this is a KISS TNC. TNC stands for Terminal Node Controller. And basically that's what this is. KISS. For those that don't remember or wasn't around in that time, KISS was an acronym that was very popular back in the day. And it stood for Keep It Simple, Stupid. So that's what they're trying to say here, is keep it simple, stupid. This was printed off of the website, off of tapper.org. And here we have AA's bulletin, firmware bulletin from 1988. So, hey, I might have the latest and greatest firmware. And look how old that is, man. See how it's yellowed? That's kind of cool. Living historic documents here, folks. So this document just basically talks about all the faxes and printers that this device now supports, I guess, with the latest firmware. Trying to see if it had the LaserJet printer I had back in the day, and I don't see it. I don't remember the model number, but I'd recognize it. It was an Epson 1157 or something like that. I wonder if it has any wing. Nope, no wing. How many of you remember Wang? My first experience was with a family friend. First experience with computers, that is. Let me rephrase that. That was a faux pas. He worked for Wang Computers, and he was into electronics. And I'm going to turn this paper over. We're not going to need to see that, because this is his warranty card, a copy of his warranty card with his name and address. And date of purchase is 1988. 9/13 of 88. And he is a 1x3. And those in the ham will know what that means. This here's, I guess, talks about the fax, 1988. Yeah, back then you were able to get weather faxes. Remember, well, some of you may not remember, but back then computers was in its infancy, and you know, I grew up, or I'm sorry, I watched the internet grow up. Let me rephrase it. I've been into computers probably since 1981, 82. So I've seen computers grow up. I've seen the internet grow up. Alright, so that's basically what that is. Let me finish my story, and then we'll finish this video, because this has gone on long enough. And then we'll go into part 3, and then maybe even a part 4. Wang, family friend, worked for Wang Electronics. He was a super nice guy. He was a vet from the Vietnam War, and he suffered a lot of trauma from the war. Had to be very cautious around him in the household, noises and things like that. He would spring up, and you know, he was ready to fight. Heck of a nice guy, fantastic tech. He kind of inspired me to get into electronics back in the 70s. And he taught me the resistor code that I still recite to this day. Kind of unique. How many of you remember your resistor code, and do you still recite it to this day? You probably do. Alright, count this out on your fingers. I may have said this in a video that I've recorded earlier that has not been posted, so you may hear this twice from me. Alright, here we go. Here's what he taught me. Here's what I still recite. Remember, 70s. Everything was okie dokie back then. Bad boys raped our young girls, but Violet gives willingly. So, there you go. Anyway, that's it for that. Let me put this up and get ready for part 3. Thank you for watching part 2. We'll catch you there.